Yo, JBlanked here. This is the Clockwork Pi Pico Calc. It's a Raspberry Pi Pico-based DIY kit that you build yourself. And with a new firmware update, we can finally run CircuitPython on the device. Let's get into it. Now, before we get into the how, let's talk about the what. The firmware update I'm talking about is from my own firmware, Picoware. Over the weekend, I added CircuitPython support, which since the release of the PicoCalc was not possible. Installing the CircuitPython version of Picoware completely changes the way you use the PicoCalc. With Picoware, you gain access to a library of over 40 apps. This includes classic games like Minesweeper and Sudoku, Tetris and Pong, turning your calculator into a portable gaming console. You'll also find a suite of powerful utilities, various fun screensavers, and for those with a wireless Pico, networking tools that can connect your device to the internet and social media. It turns your calculator into something much more. Okay, so here we are on the desktop view. If we click left, we see the system information, which has the free, the used, and the total of our heap, the PSRAM, and flash memory. Now inside I have a Pico W, so we have just about 340k bytes free. If we go back, we're back at the desktop, and if we click up or enter, now we're here in the heart of Picoware, which is the library. Now inside of here we have our applications, just about 20 applications. We have an app store, so you can download and update apps directly on the device. We have a file manager, which lets you view and edit files from the SD card. And a lot of people come here for the games. One of my favorites is 2048, and the goal here is just to match up the blocks, which compound, and the goal is to reach 2048. There's also favorites like Flappy Bird. There's a game I created called Flip World and Free Roam. There are other classics like Maze Runner, Minesweeper, and even the Game of Life. And if you click enter, it will reset. Okay, and then there's also some screensavers, which you saw towards the beginning, was the yin yang one. But there's also like the clock, which just tells you the time and the date. There is like a DVI bounce, which is another classic. Okay, and there is a Wi-Fi section, so you can scan and connect to Wi-Fi directly on the device too. And then something I skipped over was the Python editor, and this allows you to create and edit apps directly on the device. Okay, now what if you want to go beyond the pre-packaged apps and start coding your own stuff from scratch? Well, that's where the power of CircuitPython comes in, and the great news is Picoware is built on top of it, making it incredibly easy. Now, Picoware isn't something separate from CircuitPython, it is your CircuitPython environment. Here we are in Thonny IDE. So the UF2 file that we'll install contains all the necessary code to talk to the PicoCalc's hardware, the screen, the keyboard, and the speaker, etc. This makes coding a breeze because you don't have to figure all that out yourself. So more about the Python editor. It is directly within Picoware, and you can create a new file or you can edit one. We will create one today. We'll call it test.py for now. Here, .py, and just go and click enter. And then it gives us an option to write just a regular Python script or a Picoware app. Now, if we want to run this in our system, we need to do a Picoware app, so we just click enter and it will provide the template for us. Now I have already edited this file, that's why you see a random hello function at the bottom. But we can scroll down and we can start writing our Python code. Let's enter like hi equals 9. And then we can save it and then run it as a Picoware app. Or for a more traditional desktop experience, you can just plug your PicoCalc into your computer and a CircuitPy drive will appear. From there, you can use a code editor like the Thonny IDE, which in my opinion is best for beginners. And you can edit the code.py file that runs on that drive. Awesome thing is any code you write in this file will run whenever the device reboots. So that's the reason why later in our installation, we copy and paste the Picoware code.py into our board's code.py so that we have the Picoware system. But we can easily not use the Picoware system and start our own just by editing this code.py. And lastly, because we're in CircuitPython, you have access to all of the CircuitPython libraries. Adafruit has literally a couple hundred of them. This is the heart of CircuitPython, and with Picoware, it's the gateway to building anything you can imagine, from custom utilities to your own games. Okay, ready to get this installed on your device. You can unlock all these features. You only need a few things. Let's get into it. Okay, so on my screen is the installation guide, but let's go over the hardware first. And then we'll get into the software you'll need. So the good news is it's a super short list and you won't need any special tools or soldering skills. So first up, you need your PicoCalc device, of course. Second, you'll need a micro USB cable. Now here's a really important tip. Make sure it's a data enabled cable, not just a charge only one. A lot of cheap cables only send power, but we need one that can transfer files. If things aren't working later, the cable is the #1 suspect. Okay, third, you'll need the SD card that comes with your device. And finally, you'll need a computer. Now, any Mac, Windows, or Linux machine will do. And you don't have to install any special software, just a web browser and your file explorer. Okay, time to grab the files. Now, the first step is to download everything from my official Picoware GitHub page. Now, I'll have a direct link in the description below. This page is the main hub for the project, and the fastest solution is to download the repository as a zip file by hovering over the green code drop-down menu and clicking download zip. Then after that, go ahead and unzip the file for now. Okay, the next part is the most important step, and it can be a little finicky, so follow along closely. We need to put the PicoCalc into a special bootloader mode so it knows it's ready for new firmware. So the first thing we need to do is turn off your PicoCalc by holding the power button. And then you need to make sure it's completely unplugged from your computer. And now we're going to turn the device to the back. Now here we're looking for a small white boot select button on the Raspberry Pi Pico board inside your PicoCalc. Now this is a custom case by the user N602 which completely exposes the Pico, but if you have the original case that came with the PicoCalc, you can still reach this white boot select button with a toothpick, or if you have a longer fingernail or something small like that. So what we're going to need to do is hold that boot select button, and while you're holding it, you're going to need to plug your micro USB cable first into your computer. That's the easiest way, and then you need to plug it into the Pico itself. So what I would do is just plug the cord into your computer, and then with one hand hold the boot select button, and with your other hand you'll just plug it into the Pico. So you want to keep holding that button until a new drive pops up on your computer, probably named RPI-RP2 if you're using the Pico or the Pico W, or RP2350 if you're using the Pico 2 or Pico 2W. Once you see that drive, you can finally let go of the button. Now, if the drive doesn't show up, just unplug everything and try that sequence again. Now, if it doesn't work after a time or two, it's likely something's wrong with your cable. And now for the easy part, we need to go to the unzipped folder from earlier, click on the builds directory, then click on CircuitPython. Now you want to find the UF2 variant that matches the Raspberry Pi Pico inside of your device. So if you have the Pico that shipped with the PicoCalc, you use the Pico variant. If you upgraded to a Pico W like myself, you use the Pico W, etc. So from here, all you do is just drag it over to the drive. And that's literally it. Your computer will copy the file, and once it's done, the drive will disappear. And after that, you can unplug the micro USB cable from your computer and from the Pico. Okay, now the next step is to download Thonny IDE if you don't have it already. And then within Thonny IDE, go up to where it says View, make sure Files is checked. And now inside here, you want to navigate to where that Picoware folder you downloaded earlier is. If you can't find the file, you can just go on GitHub and just click on Source, CircuitPython, and then code.py. And then you can go over to where it says copy raw file and copy it there. But within Thonny, you'll go and click on Source, the same way, CircuitPython. And then if you double click on code.py, it will pop up like I have here. Okay, next, this is very important. Make sure to turn on your PicoCalc device first. Then once it is on, plug in the micro USB cable to the Pico. And then you want to go down here and change this to CircuitPython. After that, you'll see the repo load up just like this. Okay, now this is the last step. We're going to copy the code.py from Picoware source. And we're going to double click the one on our CircuitPython device. You see mine's already here. And all you want to do is just paste it here. Now by default, yours will say like print hello world. All we're doing is just copying and pasting the code here and pasting it here. Or if you got it from GitHub, just copy raw file and then go back into here and then copy the one on here. And just go and click save. Command S for me or Control S if you're on Windows or Linux. Okay, now there's one last step and we're all set. So go ahead and eject your PicoCalc and then go and unplug the micro USB cable and turn it off. And now we're going to take out the micro SD card and put it into our computer's card reader. Mine's called PicoCalc. From here, all we're going to do is put the apps on our SD card. So within that same CircuitPython folder that we downloaded and unzipped, we're just going to copy the apps folder, go into our SD card drive, make sure we have a folder named Picoware. If you don't have one, just new folder, make sure it is all lowercase, click on it, and then you're just going to paste the apps directly into that folder. And then after that, you can eject it. And now you can put the SD card back into your PicoCalc and turn on the device. Okay, and from here with the device powered on, you should see the Picoware desktop with the status bar and icons. And now you've successfully installed the Picoware firmware. So to make sure everything is working, we can launch an app. Go and click up to open the library. Let's go down, click on games. And then we can click on a random game to play like Minesweeper. And what we didn't do earlier was check out the application. So go up to applications, and we can run any of these, like the calculator app, which looks similar to the iPhone calculator. There's email, there's weather, there's a graphing app so that you can graph functions. There's a serial terminal, there's a counter, there's a download test, there's GPS, there's some simple tests, there is a PSRAM test, and more. So just like that, your calculator is now a portable gaming console and a tiny computer. So there you have it. You've taken your PicoCalc and turned it into a super versatile pocket-sized computer. By using my feature-packed Picoware OS, you have an awesome platform for learning and tinkering with CircuitPython to build your own projects. Now, what you do with it is up to you. I'm JBlanked. Thanks for watching. Peace.